and welcome to the Spectrum Stitch Crochet Swoncho. In this video, we are going to get started with the collar of our Swoncho, which is done with slip stitch ribbing. I know I can hear you guys groaning out there, but it's important that we use the slip stitch ribbing because it has a very nice elasticity to it, and that will be able to hold the weight of our Swoncho as we are wearing it. This is not a very hard thing to do. It's just tedious. So let me go ahead, get you started on this slip stitch ribbing that you need to complete. And I will give you as many tips and tricks as I have for this, and you will be on your way to create a simple slip stitch ribbing. Okay, you want to make sure you are using your main color for your Swoncho. And then I am using a size H hook. If you're using the We Crochet Swish yarn, you can pull yarn out from the middle, and it's okay if it has some guts. We're going to use all those up anyway. So I'm just going to find my end here. There it is. And we're going to begin by putting a slip knot on our hook. Okay. Put a slip knot on our hook. Once you get a slip knot on your hook, you go ahead and we're going to chain 8. So we want to make sure that these chains are the same size as our hook. Okay, so do not let them get too tight. Do not let them get too big. Just make sure you're always moving that loop up to the size of your hook, and you will make sure that your chains are all the correct size. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Word to the wise, you never count your loop on your hook as a stitch. All right. Now that we have 8 chains complete, we are going to jump right into the slip stitch ribbing. Now, these first couple rows are the most difficult because it's easy to get disoriented. Okay. So I'm going to use stitch markers to help us know where we are. Our very first stitch will be worked into the second chain from hook into the back loop, and then we're going to work in the back loop all the way along here. As we do that, it's going to be a little bit hard to distinguish the back loop from the front loop, so I'm going to use a marker, and down the way a little bit, I'm just going to put a marker into the front loop of these chains. And that's just going to give me a little visual cue of, hey, that's the end of the chains, right? That's the front loop. Now I can go ahead and I'm going to work into the second chain from hook, and I will begin with a slip stitch. And as we do these slip stitches, it's very important we are very consistent with the way we make them. So I put my hook into the back loop only, and I pull up my loop for my slip stitch here. Okay, I'm pulling up my loop. What you will notice is when I pull up my loop, I always make sure my hook is parallel to my chain. Okay, I always make sure my hook is parallel to my chain before I pull this loop through the loop on my hook. Okay, go to the next one, back loop only, yarn over, pull up a loop. Now I could right here just keep pulling through, right? Nope. I'm going to pull up so that my hook is parallel to my chain. What that does is it extends this first loop so that way it's not too tight. So when I go through the loop on my hook, my slip stitches are not too tight. Okay. Doing this consistently will keep your slip stitches in a nice consistent size. So I go in to the back loop, yarn over, pull up a loop. You notice I hold the base here. I almost did a single crochet, and then I pull that through into the back loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, make sure it's parallel, and then pull it through. Go in, yarn over, pull up, make sure it's parallel, and pull it through. Just a couple more here, and yarn over, pull up, make sure it's parallel, and pull through. Make sure you get to the last one and pull through. At this point, you should have 7 stitches. So if you're looking at the top of your work here, you should have 7 like V's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Never count the loop on your hook. Now, my friend Robin Chichula, she does not chain one as she turns here and goes to the next row. I can't seem to do that. I have to chain one. So I'm going to show you as if you were to chain one, like you're going to turn and chain one, or chain one and turn, and then continue on with slip stitches. But if you're comfortable with not chaining one and just turning and working those slip stitches, you absolutely could do that. I will leave it up to you. All right, for me, I like to chain one and I turn. And then here, this is where it can get confusing, right? Because I've turned, I'm like, oh, is that the front loop? Or is that the front loop? Or is that the back loop? Like, which is the back loop, right? Okay, well, it's actually the one all the way to the back. So you see I have my marker down there, right? So I know that that is the bottom. Knowing that that is the bottom, that was the first chain row. I know I'm working into this row. And I know that if I'm working into this row, I'm going to have what looks like a row of V's right here that look like a knit column. And so if you tilt this up, you can see that looks like a knit column too. But see how this one right here, it looks like the tip of the V, like the bottom portion of the V, it looks like it's closest to my right hand, right? And if I come up here, it looks like the tip of the V is closest to my left hand. I want to go into the one that's pointing like to my left hand. I'm going to go into the back leg of that one. Okay. So I went into the back leg of that one, yarn over, pull up a loop, make sure it's parallel, and pull through. Go to the next one, go into the back leg, yarn over and pull up, and pull through. Now, as you get going, it is very easy to create these stitches tighter and tighter. And all of a sudden you'll have one end that looks tighter than the other. So that is where doing this consistently, where you're pulling up your hook and making sure that that first loop is all the same size as it's parallel before you pull it through, that will make sure that everything is nice and uniform. All right. So we're coming up, and I pull through, and the loop that's on my hook, I do not tighten it. Do not tighten it. Leave it the way it is. All right, because we want to leave it the way it is. Come up parallel and pull through. Make sure you get all the way to the end. Yarn over, pull up, and then pull through. Another way to think of it is this. I'm going to chain one and turn. Okay. Once again, see how those V's right there, they look like they're pointing towards my right hand. And if I tilt them up, those look like they're pointing to my left hand. That's what I want. I want the ones that are going to the left hand. One thing you can think about is if I go into here, go into the back loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, I'm parallel, right? When I pull this loop through, and now I have the loop on my hook, if I were to lay this loop on my hook down next to the stitch over here, that loop on my hook should be the same size as the top of that stitch. Does that make sense? It should be the same size as the top of that stitch. It should not be smaller. It should not be bigger. It should be about the same size, because the loop on your hook, after you finish your row, right, that becomes the top of the stitch of the next stitch. See, watch. I'm going to go into the back loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, and pull through. See what I mean? See how that loop that was on the first loop that was on there, that there is now the top of the stitch we just created. And see how it's the same size as this one down here? All right, that's what we want. You want to make sure that all of your completed stitches are the same size as the one you're working into. So as you pull up and you pull through, that is a quick way that you can check to make sure they're all the same size. See how those line up perfectly? Okay. Yes, this is tedious. This is a little bit of extra work that you might be like, ugh. But hey, you signed on to do a split single crochet Swoncho. That means you're making an entire garment with single crochet. So if this is too tedious for you, this Swoncho might not be something you will enjoy making. So I just want to put that out there, because it is a lot of single crochets that we do to complete this Swoncho. All right. You see that? And doing our slip stitch ribbing like this, it allows for, like I said, the weight of the garment to maintain kind control at your neck. It's not going to get overstretched out. And so I really liked having the split or the slipped stitch ribbing for this section. I would not switch to single crochet in the back loop only. I don't think it looks correct, and I don't think it will hold the stitches the way I think it needs to be held. That's why I chose the slip stitch ribbing for this part. And as long as you are consistent with pulling up your hook and your yarn and making sure like the top of the stitch is the same size each time, you will be good. I'm having trouble getting into this one. I feel like I'm splitting the yarn, but I guess I'm not. All right. All right. So you'll be able to tell if you're getting too tight because like your ends here will start to come in a little bit. But this is what it's going to look like, right? It's going to look like this. And then as it stretches, it gives us a really nice ribbing look. Can you see that? Okay. Now, this is going to be the first time you've ever seen the Crochet Swoncho. I'm going to pull in so you can see how it's going to look next to the color work when we work into it. Okay. I'm not going to show you the whole thing. I'm just going to give you a little sneak peek. Are you ready? All right, here we go. Okay. I'm just giving you a little sneak peek. This is the ribbing on the actual Swoncho. And you can see as it's completed, it's slightly stretched out because I have all of my stitches worked into the edge here. And then they transition to the split single crochet down along the way. It's very important that you make this ribbing the split or the slip stitch ribbing. All right. It's going to hold the stitches the way you want them to. Okay. Now, as far as how long should you make the ribbing, you'll see in the pattern that it tells you how long you need to make your ribbing. And that's because we wanted to make sure that your ribbing is the correct size for your neck opening. All right. And that length is going to be measured slightly stretched out. Okay. So you don't want it to be like all squished together and then measure like 20 inches. You want it to be slightly stretched out and then measure it. Just like as you saw on that sample, it's slightly stretched out. Does that make sense? Okay. So it's important that you do that. Other than that, I think you're ready to go. So what you need to do is go and complete your slip stitch ribbing for the distance written in the pattern. Make sure it's slightly stretched out as you measure it. And then join me back here for the next section where we will actually work into the side of that ribbing to set up our Swoncho stitches. And then we will be on our way with some awesome split single crochets and some color work. This is the Spectrum Stitch Swoncho. I'm Marley Bird, your Big Crafty Bestie, and I'll see you in the next video.